Let's get a web host. Web host is just basically a computer in the middle of somewhere in the world inside what they call a data center. And basically that's where your WordPress site is going to be. Now, you got to rent that from somebody, and there's lots of web hosting providers. So you can go to Google and just type web host comparison, for example, and click any of the results and compare prices and reviews. And select whoever you want to. Monster and Bluehost are some of the most popular. I've used Bluehost for many years. Actually, it's owned by the same person, the same company, and they're really good, really reliable. You get lots of features, more than you would probably ever want to use. Now, if you want to go to a more professional kind of hosting, then you probably want to get a dedicated server. It's more expensive. But to just get a normal site up and running, Monster, Bluehost, or HostGator, which I've used before. Do your comparison, and most of them are very, very similar. So now let's go to, let's say that you want to go and get a, hosting from Bluehost. So just go to Bluehost, and you can see that for $5.95 a month, you can get a lot of stuff. Unlimited domain hosting, which means you can not just have one domain pointing to that host, but many domains. Lots of space if you want to upload a lot of files. Now you must read print, although they allow you unlimited space. This is not a place that you can use to backup stuff. I've tried to do that before, and it has to be related to your website, not just like what you would use Dropbox, for example, for, which is to store and sync files. Gigabyte file, unlimited gigabyte file transfer. That basically means if you are hosting lots of stuff and people are downloading a lot of stuff from your website, they can download as much stuff as they wanted. Email accounts. I'll teach you how to set up an email account. You get a free domain. Now that is pretty cool. And you'll be like, why I bought a domain when I can get a free domain? Well, it's up to you. It's up to you, really. You can buy the domain from Bluehost and you'll get it for free, or you can buy it from Namecheap. Now, if you think you're going to buy several domains in the future, it's better, I think, to buy from a company that is dedicated specifically to sell domains, like GoDaddy.com or Namecheap.com. But if you want to get a free domain and you don't, you might as well open an account with Bluehost. And then a lot more goodies that most of the time you never use. But anyways, and like I say, what Bluehost offers is very similar to, for example, HostGator offers, right? And they have more offerings, not just the thing about Bluehost is they only have one plan. And I think it was very smart for them to position that way, because it makes it very simple. You don't have to think a lot. The plan that we have is for everybody, and then you can add things here and there to make it more powerful. But now you go to HostGator, which I also use and I really like, and I have the baby plan for $6 a month, $6.36 a month, and you get almost everything. I mean, I don't think you get a free domain, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. Well, if you want to buy, you just go sign up now. So I'm clicking on it, and then you say, I have a domain name. Yes, so you can go picanic.com or whatever domain, and then you just follow the instructions, and you can subscribe for a month or for several years. The longer you subscribe for, the cheaper it gets. They give you a deal if you subscribe for more time. And if you want to get a free domain, you can go ahead and get it. So doodlesapp.com was available, and you say the .com and you go next, and you can open your account, right? So anyways, this is pretty straightforward. You just follow the instructions, the same with HostGator, and you get your web hosting. Now, once you have that, you have to make sure that if you bought the domain at Namecheap, for example, that you get it to point to the right place, right? So in the case of Bluehost, let's go to the Bluehost admin panel. This is what you would do. By the way, when you purchase the web hosting, you'll get an email so you can access the admin panel of your web host. This is basically a way for you to access that hosting space and be able to configure everything. Email, FTP, your domain. But the first thing you're going to want to do, if you didn't get the free domain from Bluehost, is to add it to your account. So you can register, transfer domain, subdomain, domain, and you can see there's lots of options here. And if there's stuff that bothers you, you can just make it disappear like that, and I think it remembers your setting. Files also, let's hide that. Mail we're gonna use later. Logs we don't need. Very, very powerful. All right, so go to add-on domains and go to use a domain that is not already associated with your account. So just type the domain name you want to add, and I have an available domain that is not being pointed to Bluehost, and it basically says, well, you gotta make sure that the name servers are these ones, because right now they're pointing to these other domain name servers, which are basically the Namecheap ones or the GoDaddy ones, whatever you got them from originally. So what I have to do is very fast go and copy this and go to my Namecheap account and go and find my domain, allpage.com, and then I go transfer to Webhost, click there, and then make sure that I type there NS1 and NS2 Bluehost, and then save changes. And name service updated successfully. Perfect. Now I go back there, and ownership verified. That's great. So now I can add it. Now basically when I go add domain, click add domain, allpitch.com is going to point to my Bluehost account. And while that is happening there, because it takes a little bit of time, I'm going to show you how to do the same thing on HostGator. So on HostGator, this is the admin panel. It's called cPanel. It's very standard in most web hosts, and they do some customizations. But basically, it's the same thing. If you go to domains and you go to add-on domains, then you just select the domain that you want to add, right? And then it will tell you whether it's available. You can add. It actually creates a FTP account already, but just give it a password. Follow the instructions. Give it a nice and secure password, and it's the same procedure. And that's how you add your domain. Now, the next thing we're going to cover real quickly is, before we install WordPress, you probably want to have your own email address. So let's do that. You can skip that chapter, it's fine because it's not related to WordPress. But I mean, if you have a domain, you want it to have your own email address. So I'll just show you next how you can create your own email address with your domain. All right.